Welcome back to part 2 of What If Deku was the Mad Skull King of the universe. So, in the part 1 was called, or that sad beginning part was, because I said, it's a sad. The main character of this What If storyline murdered or massacred the entire villains, and he also killed his own friend in the process. That's sad. I'm not joking about that. And yeah. So Zuko is basically got his name changed, or so he changed his name to the Suffer, and because every time he hears the word Zuko, it always brings him pain and or brings up bad memories. Yeah, he doesn't want to kill anybody anymore. So yeah, when the Sports Festival, I remember, or like Sports Festival, Zuko ran super fast with his Infinity and Zero. He was done in about 0.1 seconds. Yeah, that was faster than anyone. So Zuko was stayed away from everybody. And I'm still calling him Zuko, but they all call him like Suffer. Or Suffering. Or Suffer, yeah. So Zuko was basically, and I know that I forgot about the, so when they had their meeting between Zuko and his 3 daughters that he never knew had, because when they told him his power gave birth to those 3, and they actually had names for them. The power gave them names, like Crystal Clear, and I forgot the other 2 names, and I just wrote it down, but yeah. So all 3 of these are told of him that, and they're like, or he's so confused. And yeah. So Zuko was in first place. His 3 sisters not 3 sisters. I meant 3 daughters of his. She was in first. She was in second. And her was in third. Or fourth. Because Zuko was in first place. Yeah. And so then the cavalry battle. No. They basically, it was 4 people on one team, and Zuko was basically had a power of infinity and 0. Everyone wanted to to recruit him. So Zuko chose the three powerhouses. Because what I mean by that is all three of them actually were born with powers. Like Crystal Clear has the power to bend crystals, but that's her quirk. But her actual powers is the blinding light. Basically is similar, not similar to Invisible Girls' one, but she can use her power to create constructs. Like that one Marine King guy from One Piece where yeah, sorry. That was that was actually blue on my nose, actually. So the girl, I forget his name, but the one that has a light fruit. Yeah. She kind of has that same powers. So she can perform basically what the light fruit does, but instead of losing the ability to swim, she still has the ability of swimming thing. And then her sister was called, or actually her sister has the opposite one, dark fruit. Or basically her powers is opposite to her sister. But she can create like black holes or warp gates or anything. Because, yeah. And then the demon girl, I forget her name, or demon princess, has the powers to control, she has two powers that are fused into one. The undead power, she's basically first of all three of them are immortal, so that includes their father. So, yeah, but she has the undead love, undying love, is basically it's basically like necromancing and love. Like Boaz is love fruit. Yeah. So she could bring her father's dead friend back to life. And in order to yeah. So that's currently Izuku, whom was the horseman, and she was on the top because, yeah, he was kind of embarrassed because so then the basically, yeah, and she used I forget what that's called. And I was itching my leg, first of all. So, the line. So, yeah. So, she basically used, like, that attack. And, and yeah, from her own shoulders things. As, yeah, Zuko basically was so surprised that his own sister, or not sister, his own daughter has this much power. And I'm trying to find. So, this one, where, yeah, she's basically using that on all of them, or on all of the people, as everybody's running away. But at least she's targeting certain areas. As everybody's like, as everybody looks at her like, as they are running. But at least Zuko and, of course, the other two are just fine. They're just right underneath her. And he looks, or he doesn't want to look up because that would be like looking up his skirt. And that's being weirdo. But but he basically is his daughter. So, yeah, looking up at his own daughter's skirt is weird. And he's 15. And how they were born was when he was only 1 year old. Yeah. Not because of, it was because of his power. Or first of all, and it came from those dead bodies. Yeah. The piles of corpses turns into 3 people that were, or actually 4, because including their brother, because that's actually a boy, or no, actually, I can't, I can never tell if. So I think he'll just, yeah, he's gonna be the girl, basically. That creature will be the girl. So she ends up. So he has 4 daughters on Earth that he never knew he had. Because of his power, gave birth to them. So, yeah. I don't remember if I ever said what gender, first of all, if you guys are flying to keyboards. So, yeah. So, now, so, let's get back into the what if. So, Zuko, after watching after he's watching her own, or his own daughter massacre, like the entire stadium, or not even stadium, they were just, and yeah, and she lands right back onto him, and he's does a good job. As everybody or other competitors are like, we're staying away from those guys, as they all like go for each other's. And Zuko's team, right then and there, they won. So then yeah. So then the fight one shows up, and basically the fight he went completely different. Zuko versus Bakugo instead of Ochako. No, versus Bakugo. And Zumi was with battles against the Brain Dude. And then his 3 daughters, one of them, her, against Todoroki, and Dark Shadow versus her, and Momo versus her. Yeah. As Bakugo's like, guess I got the weakest one. I don't say that, Bakugo. Oh. That's your name, right? Yep, Kasuke Bakugo. Huh. As Todoroki could sense, because that something tragic happened to the sufferer. Because Todoroki could sense something, as Zuko says, as Zuko's body starts to, Zuko basically, he doesn't want to use rage power. But instead, because he dodged Bakugo's attacks. As Bakugo was like, why are you dodging? I don't want to, fight ain't on anything. I don't want to bring you suffering. Not compared to Zumi's brother, as Bakugo froze. Because when Bakugo told her, or no, when Bakugo, or no, when Zumi knew that Zuko was killed home. So, but Bakugo froze. As Zuko, or as Suffer says, his he isn't dead. He's still alive. Him, as Zuko, or as Suffer says, as him still alive. It's not because of, and he watched his own friend die. Him. I feel bad for him. Every time I think about that name, him, it always brings up how he feels. As Bakugo, instead of like continuing, as he looks up, you know something that none of us don't know. Yeah. The one who killed all those villains and the poor innocent child was Zuko Midoriya. As no, if anyone, as he says, if anyone says that they have a hard life, go ask him. As Zuko's power, or as he as his power manifested again, as his hair turns green, his eyes turn red, his skin becomes all black. As he says, "It is time for you to die here, Kasuke Bakugo." As he grabs Bakugo by the throat, slams him into the wall out of the ring, and is about to strangle him. As Zuko, whose powers manifested, as the pro heroes, as Zuko weren't gonna be in time, but Zuko tells himself to stop. As his eyes turn back to normal, his hair turns back to purple. As he let go of Bakugo. Sorry, Bakugo. It's he and I. And how I know it was Zuko whom it is because we both go through the same thing. If anyone says, get mad or something, it's as Bakugo was, because he never had someone, and it was like a demon came out of Zuko's body and slammed him into the, or nailed him to the wall. As he walks away, as he's at least he didn't kill his own friend, or he didn't kill Zumi's friend. As before he left, he told Bakugo one of my powers that I really wanted to learn. And here is to control my anger. It's called Raging Mage. It's a very powerful power. As Bakugo is like, I could see why it's called that. Bakugo, who was breathing, and so then so as he went into somewhere quiet room, but his 3 sisters went and got up and walked over, and as he had his head in his hands, like basically he was sobbing. As they all 3 of them sat next to him and said that you'll be okay. It's not your fault. As one of them says, as all 3 or the other 2 agrees, I almost killed him. It's as Zuko knows that when Zuko gets angry. So Choco, or actually, because she really hasn't met Zuko personally, because they met, or so Bakugo, Ochako, and Todoroki met Zumi, and the other 3 girls, the ones that you see on your screen, all 3 of these, were basically a thing. So they met Zumi, and they be friends with her for a while. So then Zuko was basically pretty strong. And so then the couple rounds later, him versus his own daughter, him versus the girl that could bring his own friend back to life to haunt him if he wants, or if she wants to. But she doesn't want to do that to her own father. As Zuko was like, okay. So they battled like normal. And because her speed and her strength is that similar to Zuko's raging mage powers or ability, so she can keep up with his anger. As both of them comes in, when Zuko got mad, and as they both went right at it, pounding each other's, whacking them around like a little rag dolls. Yeah, and Zuko was, as he can't control himself when he's getting super angry. So then Zuko does his own thing. And Zuko was basically ran around, yeah, as he punched his own daughter on her right out of the ring. As before he even tried, he stopped himself from killing his own daughter. Because no one knows it was his own daughter. Yeah. So then Zuko stops himself as he says, sorry, hey, yeah? As his hair turns back to normal, like the purple. Because as everybody's like, man, are you doing okay, bro? You're kind of getting, you're having us worried. Yeah. My unique power. That's why the Zuko Midoriya that's why he's still alive. So, yeah, that was pretty young, first of all. I just thought about that. Him creating his first ever murdered stuff, in history would be that one. So Zuko, Azumi keeps hearing Zuko, his name, because when they didn't know, or no, actually, his own, so Azumi doesn't remember Zuko all that well, but it sounded familiar to her. So then, yeah, after the sports festival thing, and he does go against Todoroki, I forgot to mention, as Todoroki looks at Zuko, and he actually used Zuko's suffers his real name, Zuko. No one, I don't want to be called that. As no one calls me that. As Todoroki looks at him, very intense stare, and tells him that I know how you feel. You don't know how I feel. As Zuko replies with a growl. The only people that do know how I feel is that friend that was murdered. And Zuko's is half his hair color, like his, like, kind of like what Todoroki's is, but one side's purple, one side's green. As the, he says that, I don't accept that part of me, because what he did, or what I can't, as he can't control himself, as Zuko, as Todoroki's trying to get him, or trying to tell Zuko, I know how you feel. It's not your fault. Whatever happened back then wasn't your fault. Yes, it was. Usually, the power, or as Todoroki knew who Zuko was, or Suffer really was, as he can't accept who he is. And Zuko, as Todoroki knows how much pain Zuko is going through, as name, so Todoroki uses ice. Yes. And he says that you hated your powers, just like how I hated my right side, left side, the red part. He says I hated my left, or my fire power, or the fire quirk, because it also brings up bad memories. And the Endeavor tries to makes me use it. But you, Zuko, you hated your power. Quit calling me Zuko. Like what I said, it brings up bad memories of it. As Zuko's anger, as he could still, as both, like, Todoroki sees the both sides, or one side of Zuko's face was crying. As Zuko's power evolved into this, back in, as as a hoodie came over his head, his eyes turned black on the outside with purple, like what you see before you. As Zuko, who says in his really dark voice of imagine it in the super dark voice, it is time for you to die. Hey, Todoroki-san. As Zuko uses his own mirages of as Todoroki is getting pounded as Endeavor jumps out off the from the as he jumps and yeah, Zuko wasn't holding back. As Todoroki was getting pounded around like a little rag doll. As Zuko can't control himself when he's pounding. As Zuko, as memories flashing before his eyes of him killing the villains with the exact same moves. As Endeavor was getting closer, as Zuko turns around, and he turns around and punched Endeavor right in the chest. Broke every rib, broke every hairy bone in Endeavor's body, sending him flying backwards. Bam! As Zuko can't control himself. As he starts massacring everything. Like he can't, as his own daughters, as all three of them ran up and tackled him, forced him back. As Zuko, can't, as Zuko's, as one of them says she tells them, look at me, Zuko, or Hunter, or no, she tells him to look at her, or she tells him to look at her straight in the eyes, as he can't control himself. I know that, and what Todoroki was trying to say to you, please calm yourself. As he can't, as one of the, or let's say she actually knows, as Zuko was, as she's like, hurry up. Or let's say she says that. Because she's the strongest one, like super strong one. And she's holding him as the, so she basically, or so, because his sisters were trying to calm him down, but he never actually, but then one word came out of their mouth, her mouth, like one word, love. As Zuko calms down a lot, as he pays attention to her, when she said that word, as she could sense, it wasn't because he cares about everybody, but it was just his anger is, So when she gave it a try, and she gave her own son, or no, her own father hugs and told him that they love him, then he calms down a lot. as tears going down his face, as he loved his own, as he calms down a lot, as he can, as, yeah. So an Endeavor and the Todoroki got ran to the hospital as basically they, all three of them knew that, because no one else knew that Zuko had a broken heart, because after he watched his friend get killed by him in front of him, so is like, yeah, as Todoroki is wondering, or actually not Todoroki, Bakugo is wondering, how can they calm him down that fast? As many people were just injured because Zuko's anger cost, not everybody, no one actually died, but he's trying to keep him, yeah. So, yeah. As Ochako thinks that he's a lucky guy. But then, yeah, so then the time skip to All Might versus All for One. How long has this video been? Let's see. That's okay. Because my new goal is for part one be 30, and then the other one be at 50. So, yeah. So then Zuko ends up basically. So, All for One does like his. Because after Zuko, or after All for One witnessed how much murdered of who was the one that did it, and yeah, and so Mina was like given, or trying to give some cred to her, like, so he's all three of your boyfriends, and all three of them, or yeah, all three of them says ew, gross. It's, as one of them doesn't want to say it, but the other says, he's our dad. As one of them says, as like everybody in the room. Here, hold on. Beep beep. Banana. My Hero Academia, Shark Faces of Class 1A. As everybody's like, wait, he's your dad? As everybody can't even believe it. Yeah, as they said. As they can't believe that, like, Zuko or Suffer, they now start calling him Zuko, but they still call him Suffer because he doesn't know why. But then Zuko, or let's say one of them says, "That's so cool." That so Raging Mage, or yeah, gave like his powers gave birth to you three. Yeah, actually, there's four of us, as one of them says. Let's say she says, "There's four of us. You only know three of us, but there's a fourth one." As all of them were like, "Ooh." So can I ask, as they asked, who's the fourth one? Let's say Tape Boy, or not Tape Boy, oh, hold on. Sorry. So yeah. Sorry, I just had to sneeze real quick. So, yeah. When every single one of them heard that Zuko was, pretty strong fella. And Zuko was basically, yeah. As they still can't get over how the three women, or no, three of their classmates were sons, or no, daughters of Zuko, the Class 1B student. So yeah, Nezu, whom like properly says, "I know that I'll prefer you to Zuko, whom, but I'll still call, or you'll still, yeah, I know that it must have been hard for you. Yeah, I'm still trying to recover from it, because it's been 14 years and it still hasn't recovered from that devastation." As Zuko says it in a calm voice, and he wasn't lying to Nezu. It's, yeah. That's why when you see me on like school, or like away from the rest of the crowd of the kids, that's why. You're still, let us heal you from that. And but can I still, or as Zuko, or as Nezu says, you'll be bumped up to Class 1A. Because and I didn't know, or as before, or after they like had their conversation end, before Zuko even left, "You should be proud of your own daughters." Yeah. I'm always grateful. But I'm still, as he says, I'm still a little bit shocked that even what happened to me during that 14 years. Okay? So, yeah. So, Zuko doesn't really mind it anymore because it's been, 14 years. As everybody still can't get over what Zuko was. Is as Mina and the rest of them can't even believe Zuko, or they can't even believe that. Yeah, they can't believe that Zuko's has 3 daughters, or 4 daughters. The 4th one they haven't met. As Rangarol, or as Zuko knows, because after the sports festival, then the internship thing, Zuko can tell that which the Rangarol home, because, or actually one of Zuko's daughters says to her that, guess you're going for the dolphin, or that sea lion guy, right? Yeah. How did you know? I can see it on your internship thing. And don't worry. And be safe out there. And tell the sea monster when you see her to come and visit. As Raw Girl's like, the same one that keeps attacking? Is that a girl? She with a quirk? As as the girl like says, well, remember or all 3 of us as, let's say it was her that said all 3 of us. Now, remember the 4th one? What I said, there's 4 of us? And her name is Silo. Silo? Huh, that's a cute name. Yeah. Silo, just tell her by her real name. That's her real actual name. If you see her, just tell her that come and visit her father. Okay? So, yeah. So then her father says, or as I will. And so, I didn't get out of my face. So, yeah. So, the frog girl, sorry, I didn't mean to do that, goes for sea lion. Oh, sorry. And so they went out and just like explored around. As Zuko, Straw Girl was wiping yeah. And she did clean all of it before. So she just walks up to the front of the boat and she said, as she remembers, as one of the people said, be careful, don't get knocked into water, that sea monster might come. as that's what I'm hoping for, as she says, as she uses her voice, as she says, "Hey Claire," as the as bubbles starts to form, as a giant creature forms out of it. As it was, big, drooling, and yeah, and Trial Girl was laying. Basically, as everybody fell backwards because they never meet a monster, the legendary monster before. But Frog Girl says, "Go visit your father, Herm. He's in town." As he looks, or as she looks at him, and nods her head, as it telepathically says, "I will." As she leaves, as she goes around the boat, and as they're like, "How did you do that, or did?" Well, one of my friends, or actually, yeah, one of my friends is a daughter of one of my other classmates. It's going to be a long story, so yeah. And sea lion guy knows what she's going to talk about, who specifically Zuko. Is that the same kid that was at the sports festival? Yeah. And the three daughters that were holding him against the wall because he was lost control was actually, or three girls that were actually his own daughters. As the sea lion and the whole crew was shocked about, wait, you said, wait, hold on, as they're trying to process it, but then Frog Girl says, well, that sea monster that you saw was actually the fourth daughter of Zuko Midoriya, of Zuko. As they're like, wait, hold on. As they remember the story of there was a massacre of 1.9 bazillion, including an innocent child. And yeah. So then So then Frog Girl is glad. So, yeah. He's like, man. That too much? Yeah. So, now, we move on to All Might versus All for One. And I know that it's probably way over the time, but that's okay. So, yeah. So, now so All Might versus All for One. As All for One was about to win by just killing All Might. And Zuko, first of all, so before his actual daughter, the sea monster, came and visits with Zuko. Oh, and yeah, then and he says, "Have you been a nice girl?" As she says, "I've been so nice." Yeah, because it's his daughter. nothing. Yeah. So then, yeah, that was before. So the internship thing. And then, so now all my verses, all for one thing, as Zuko. And no, he did not kill his sisters, or no, his daughters. But instead, when he got angry, his body evolved into the Mad Skull King of the universe. Yeah, fully. As he goes and as he absorbs All for One's attack, as he says, it's time for you to pay the price. As All for One says, the favorite person that I wanted to meet. It's an honor meeting you. You were the only one that survived the massacre against. And I know that it was you that killed all my men and before. So now it's time for both of us to see who's a real powerful. Azuko basically battles against All for One. Azuko, as his ghostly friend that he was always said he's always be by his side, no matter. No, he ends up, yeah. And reason why I took out, or I basically edit all the blood out is because him because I didn't want to end up having like too much. Yeah, so his dead friend and says that you've always been, giving him encouragement and all that stuff. But Zuko is happy to have friends. As he tells All for One that you will not hurt my friends or anyone that ever again, just like your men of that 14 years ago. Those guys hurt my friend. And you will be next. As Zuko comes in, and he wasn't holding back. He killed All for One in a split second. Yeah, all the way to nanosecond. Yeah. As Zuko turns around, as he walks, as All Might had to, because he's holding his fists up, as Zuko walked right by his side him, walked right past him, and ends up saving Zuko from, he saves the citizen from the debris. As he says, I'm in control now. No. And so Zuko accepted his past. and his name of Zuko. Because they... So, and when Class 1A met his fourth daughter, they were like, okay, we're done. So then, All Might Endeavor, All Might and Zuko humped each other's out. And of course, the next day, the Inko and Asashi can't believe that Zuko is still alive. Because some powers, they had to check whoever had. Yeah. But so their son, Zuko's his friend that got killed. His family was like, they knew that it was that Zuko. It was Zuko that did it, but they didn't want to, because they didn't press charges against that, because first of all, Zuko was trying to be nice and all that stuff. Well, yeah. Being too nice is like getting your friends killed. Yeah. So, Bakugo, Inko tells Zuko, because she was there, and he looks up at her. And Inko says, son, I know that you're probably was in so much pain of that 14 years ago one. But I don't want you to be in that situation, in that dark place ever again. So, yeah. So then Sashi's like, yeah, we all thought you were the one that got killed. Zuko says, no, it was my friend. We should have done a powered test on you before, or the ability. So that as so then his three sisters, three daughters of his, says, hey Ingo, or hey Ingo, hey Asahi. As Zuko says, So, all three of them, or actually four of them, because the sea monster actually can turn back into a human. And I don't know how to, I really don't know how to figure that part out of what it would look like. It would probably look like looks like her, but without like demon horns and with just say like fins. So yeah, looks like as Inko says hi. As he tells her that name, gets the. So Inko told him that like, or tells him that we're gonna handle some family matters thing. Yeah, that's why. That's why we're here, because all three of us, or actually all four of us, is actually we're daughters of Zuko Midoriya. That caught Inko off guard, as she could not believe that even Asashi was like, hold on. He had a daughter, or Yuzuku had a daughter, or four daughters? Did you like, no. As one of them says, no. It's because of his power of aging mage that created us from, or it was his power that created us. And his power, as all four of them says, each of his powers are stronger than a normal one. Yeah. So now it's time. So yeah, so then they properly introduced themselves. Like Inko was like, how do you feel about being back in the family? Sure. As he knows that he doesn't, it's hard for him still. But Sashi and Inko are like telling him that we don't worry about us. Okay? So he kept his four daughters, and they are now called Midoriyas, like their first name, and they're Midoriyas. So then so Bakugo, so everybody, like all Zumi's friends meet Zuko, her brother, and plus Zumi actually says, long time, yeah. So as Bakugo and Todoroki and Ochako. So Ochako tells Zuko that she sees him as she actually fell in love with him. And no, it's not by her powers, because she can make people and fall in love with her, but she also has a stone power, basically like turns people to stone. But yeah. So Ochako and Zuko got married, and every time or not every time, sometimes when her, or when his mind, or no, when I just said that, I have a song of the girl dating a criminal. Basically, I forgot the song's called. But I'm not going to play it. I'm just going to, like, see what it is. Because of copyright things, I don't want to. Because it was, I'm trying to remember what it was. So, I'm looking at the big screen, not at this one. So, sorry. Okay. Because the Zuko ends up, um, I'm trying to find it. It was criminal thing. That's what it is. So, yeah, it's basically when I said that it was criminal. And sorry this video got super long, or this part super long, because, yeah. So, Ochaku ends up married to Zuko, and Zuko ends up having more kids, but with Ochako instead of, yeah, so goes from 4 to 6 kids. 6 kids in total. And 4 of them are girls, 2 of them are boys. So, yeah. So I'm like, or so he's like, okay. And in honor of his dead friend, and he named one of the sons the Crystal Midoriya. Yeah. Not crystal clear Midoriya, because that's their daughter's name. Yeah. But just Crystal Junior Midoriya. So, yeah. And they basically are glad. So, yeah. So now this is going to be the end of the what if. Please leave a like, share, subscribe. Peace out, y'all. Peace.